Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the latest Pixar film, Onward.
Teen-Elf brothers Ian and Barley Lightfoot go on a journey to discover if there's still magic in order to spend one last day with their father who died when they were young. Now their journey is filled with magic spells, cryptic maps, impossible obstacles, unimaginable discoveries, and all the other stuff that comes with doing magic movies.
Sort of. Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates for future podcasts and more to pause videos.
Absolutely.
So we should start with the voice cast, of course, right?
Well, before that, we have to say we were recommended to watch this movie by Phoenix.
Again!
We got to see it in theaters. So thanks a lot, Phoenix.
Yes. And we rented this on DVD, so we finally got to see it for the first time. And guys, it was a little different than what we expected, but it turned out to still be a pretty good movie.
Yes. And now the all-star cast.
Yes. You have Tom Holland as Ian, and Chris Pratt as Barley.
Woo! Julie Louis-Dreyfus as the mom. Octavia Spencer as the Manticore, and wait till you see that character.
Right.
Lena Waithe, Ali Wong, Greg Griffin, Tracy Ullman,
Noah Rodriguez,
Wilmer Valderrama, who we haven't heard from in a while, and John Ratzenberger, who you should know from the Toy Story movies and from Cheers, the old series.
Yes.
Well, I shouldn't say that. The series from the 80s?
I think so, yeah.
So, yes, all-star voice cast.
Yes. Now, to be fair, there isn't like a whole ton of characters in here, but it's just enough to carry the film. And they made sure they picked out the right people to do these characters. Mm-hmm. And like I said, for here, it's a little different than what we expected. And we actually heard at one point before watching it, like not too long before we started watching it, was that people were saying it sort of sound like a conceptual ripoff of Full Metal Alchemist. And when we watched the film, we kind of like, well, where'd they get that from? It's a whole different story from this. It's not even an anime.
There were some similarities. There absolutely were some similarities, but I wouldn't say that it was a direct ripoff. But yes, there were similarities that made you think of Ed and Al and the journey they were on.
Yeah,
and maybe they were inspired.
Yes, it's possible, because you definitely see a Philosopher's Stone in there. Yes. It's like, where did that come from? But, yeah, despite that, it was still a very interesting movie to see, and a whole new concept that we really hadn't seen in this type in animation.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So for here, we'll explain that the world is set in a universe where magic isn't really used anymore. In fact, it's not really used, period. It's sort of like a thing people thought didn't even exist because it's been so long. Apparently, people used to use magic all the time, but then they started inventing things like people do in our timeline. Mm-hmm. But magic started being really difficult to do and keep track of, so they started just going easy route and just invent light bulbs and TVs and microwaves and stuff. And they started inventing more technology, and the more they did, the less they started doing magic, to a point where it's almost like magic didn't exist, period. They just started relying on technology and stuff for everything. But they did do a smart move in not having it currently in 2019 or 2020. Mm-hmm. They have it set in a sort of other time period where it's not modern day, but you know it's like maybe in the 50s or 60s where
no, it can't be that far back.
Well, wait, no, maybe it's 80s, because they have the cassette. I was thinking like some other things when they were showing before they quit.
It could be 70s or 80s, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking when they were showing, they had like their attire and things, because some of them had the attire of like they were from different time periods. But I think it's supposed to be, as you said, 70s or 80s, because they had played heavily on cassettes and the music and stuff from those time periods.
Probably 80s, definitely.
Yes.
Because I think before cassettes was 8-track, and I think that was 70s, I think. Yeah. So then that means it had to be 80s or forward. Mm-hmm.
And the characters themselves, they sort of, like I said, when they drop the magic, they sort of play into the roles of, modern day roles, where instead of having wizards and knights and things, you have pizza place owners, they have pawn shops, and the creatures and things that have their place are different. Like the unicorns are now raccoons. That's kind of degrading. The Pixies are now motorcycle gangs. They can't fly anymore for some reason. Manticores are running pizza shops because they don't do quests anymore. And it's sort of interesting. Yeah, the Centaur is a police officer, but they still gotta drive a car for some reason.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting how they set up this whole world of having the magical creatures adapt to mostly modern day living.
So in here, you have the older brother, Barley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to be the one to use magic to cast a spell so they can bring their father back to spend 24 hours with him one more time. Barley remembers him, but Ian doesn't because he passed while he was really young.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't know anything about the father except for what his older brother tells him. So Barley thinks he's going to be the one who's going to be able to use the magic to cast the spell, but it ends up being the younger brother who has the proficiency for using magic.
Right. And they do avoid a lot of tropes usually in the Disney films, like certain twists they do. And one of the...
Well, first you have to tell them that they cast the spell, but then the father's only brought back up to his pants belt buckle.
Yeah.
And so they have to, before the 24 hours are up, they have to find the stone to complete the magic spell so that they can bring him fully back into being and spend that time with him before the 24 hours is up, because it only lasts 24 hours.
Right.
Now.
Right. And a lot kind of comes in with him just being feet. So.
Now about the tropes.
Yeah. They do avoid, actually, for once, avoid a lot of the tropes they've been doing in recent years, like having some type of twist on like who the character really is. Like you see him in one way and it turned out to be a whole nother. And they also avoid having like a bunch of musical numbers in one movie. It's more like in the background than someone breaking out the song. Mm-hmm. And they don't have the older brother being jealous of the younger brother because he has the magic.
I was so refreshing. Barley was just so happy and so supportive. And for once we got to hear Tom Holland do a character that in the beginning wasn't so nice. He was a jerk to his older brother. Mm-hmm. But no matter what he did, his older brother still was kind to him and loved him. And yeah, you're right, that was the difference. He wasn't jealous of him at all. He was just like impressed and, oh, you can do this and you can do that and this is how I can help you and let me help you. So yeah, it was a breath of fresh air.
Right. And even though they kind of like set up to the characters not that bright because he's obsessed with magic, which is I guess their world's version of having superpowers and liking superheroes, he's not an idiot. He's not like set up to be an idiot. He's not dim in the least. No. He's just really happy and adventure.
And he drives his van.
His van with the what do you call it? His steed is the van. It's like when he built.
So again, this is a movie that had a refreshing storyline and relationships, and the mom is doing whatever she can. She didn't know what happened, but when she figured out what they'd done, she ends up getting an unlikely
guess ally.
Yes, in the Manticore to try to keep them from getting hurt. What she's basically chasing them for is to keep them from getting hurt or anything happen to them.
Oh yeah.
But she learns to relinquish and allows them to go ahead and do what they need to do to see their father again.
And one of the most biggest miracles come out of Disney in years, the mom is alive.
Yes.
And is a focal point in the movie. They didn't just kill her off before you see the movie.
But the dad was gone in the beginning, so still partial Disney.
Yeah, well, I guess at least they changed up a little bit. So hopefully their next
orphans,
right. And so let's hope in the next movie that the characters will have both parents. That's all we need now.
So it was fun. It was really fun throughout to watch the movie, and in some places the storyline was predictable. But we do like when it got to the critical climax, I should say, of the movie. You didn't figure out everything that was going to happen.
That's true.
And it had a nice happy ending. Not the ending we thought we were going to get. Things didn't go exactly like we thought they would go. It would have been nice, but they chose not to go that route. But all in all, this really is a nice movie to watch and is safe for all ages to view.
Yeah, it's just a really nice little family film. And, you know, considering what has been going on in recent times and months, it's really great to have something relaxing as this and just something easygoing and fun. There isn't some apocalypse behind it, or saving the world, or there's villains after them, or this, that, and the other. There's some type of really cosmic disaster going on. It's just some one basic story, easy setting, and it's not so easy where they don't take it seriously, or it's like for little kids or something. It's just something that you really enjoy watching together.
Now, is this a Disney or Pixar movie?
Oh, it's both. It's Pixar.
Okay.
It's a Disney and Pixar, but
so,
Pixar.
Is this one of Pixar's best movies? No. It's not one of the top ones, but don't let that deter you. Again, it's a lot of fun. It's worth the viewing, and you will come away feeling good and happy knowing that Pixar is still out there making movies that are positive. And Tom Holland, Rascal's favorite Spider-Man, is still voicing awesome characters. His second animated character we've heard recently, Spies in Disguise.
Yes.
And now this one. And Chris Pratt does a fantastic, excellent voicing of the Big Brother, which is vastly different from Emmett in the Lego movie.
Yes. So think about it. You got a movie where Spider-Man and Star-Lord, or Walter and Emmett are in a movie together.
That's correct. So if you've seen Onward, like Phoenix, let us know what you think in the comments below, and let us know if you feel that this movie is not on par with other Pixar movies. We've read some comments about that. So let us know what you think.
Right, and give us your very honest opinion. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and Walter Pond's videos.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And don't forget Netflix on Paws. Paws on Netflix now.
Oh, yeah, yes. Okay, forgot to mention that one. So, once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket.